What's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports Dummies. We are going to be talking about all kind of fun things tonight. We're going to be talking about um, some matchups. We're going to be talking about news, talking about college, talking about all kind of good stuff. So, with that being said, we are going to hit everything, and well, yeah, we'll see what else we fall into. We have Mike here joining us tonight. What's up, Mike?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What is new
Good.
on your end?
Fun week. Fun start of December.
We are in for a lot of a lot of debauchery. Not
Yes,
just on uh, the pro side, but also on the college side as well. A
absolutely.
lot of news out of college at the moment, um, which we're gonna hit some of these topics and stuff like that. We're also going to be picking the first slate of these championship games this weekend because some of them are on Friday. So we'll be picking the Thursday night game and we'll be picking the Friday championship games out of college. And then Friday, when we get on, we can talk about Saturday and then the rest, obviously, the rest of the NFL schedule as well. Um, so, just some hot topics out of the NFL uh, last week and kind of what's going on this week. Um, Deshaun Watson's window has been opened. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Whether they're going to play him this year or whether they're going to ride out Shador should be very interesting, in my opinion. Um, what do you
I think
think?
that'll tell you a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I think it will. Me personally, I think give Shador at least a year. Figure it out. You know, get the team around him. See if that's your guy, or even Dylan Gabriel. I forgot all about him for Christ's sakes.
Yeah,
Um, see what he's all about. I could see one of these quarterbacks being a package deal come draft day. You know,
yeah. I'm with you. That's a good point. Knowing the Browns, they're probably going to get a top five draft pick. So it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. If they do go quarterback or they do move one of the guys and get something for them,
right,
you know?
right. It would be beneficial for them to get something for any one of them. To be honest with you, but kind of looking at the slate of teams that are kind of going on right now, I don't really see anybody that might need a quarterback besides maybe the Jets, right?
Right, right.
Atlanta's
Yep,
tied into Penix. They like him. Uh,
right.
Carolina's obviously tied into Bryce. They
Yep.
like him. Um, San Francisco's tied into Purdy. Um, Maybe the Steelers. Maybe you don't
Maybe,
you don't know.
maybe.
Uh,
Right.
us personally as fans who live in this town, we want to see Will Howard take over as starting quarterback and be the starter for at least a year. I want to see what the kid's got. I want to see what he has now, but they're not going to play him while Rogers is here, and that's fine. I wouldn't say go ahead and bench Rogers just to see what the kid
No,
has, unless Rogers
right. I
really
mean,
can't go. You know,
right.
because we've talked about it at nauseum at the fact that Mason Rudolph is not a starter. He's a fill in. He's not a starting quarterback. We've seen that time and time again. Um,
We saw it on Sunday when he did come in.
right.
He threw a ball into quadruple coverage. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Um, and all those people that keep banging a drum for Mason Rudolph, he's already shown us everything he's got, and it's not good. So, again, I liked him coming back for one reason.
oh,
Well, for two
right.
reasons. He was a backup, and he was cheap.
Yep.
That
Very
was the,
good.
that was literally all I liked him for. He knew the system,
Mm-hmm.
so he could fill in when need to, but I didn't need him starting any damn games. I just need him coming in relief if something happened.
Right.
You know, um,
And you can't argue with 19 touchdowns and 5 interceptions for Rodgers.
no,
Behind the offensive line, it's amazing he's done that well.
right.
So,
they have to focus on, just like all these other teams are focusing on with us, that they need to get the ball out quick. Why they get the ball out quick with us is because there's nobody guarding anybody for the first 7 yards of their route. So it's easy to just go boop, and then they take off for 35, 40 yards every single time practically. But we'll get into the Steelers more when we talk about my opinion or my theory on the head coaching carousel with Pittsburgh. I have a take that I heard. I'm not going to take credit for it, obviously, but I had a take that I heard that I think that you will find interesting. Probably you have heard it as well. But before we get into the head coaching thing, let's talk about some of the moves that the Steelers made. Two moves that they've actually made, and then one move that they made about 2 or 3 weeks ago that we're still kind of going, where's he at? Okay, let's get into the where's he at. Okay, MVS, Valdez Scantling, where is he? Is he missing? Do we put his face on milk cartons? He was moved to the active roster as far as I knew, but I haven't seen him play it down yet. Have you?
right. From what I understand, matter of fact, last week I don't even know if he was active. I'm not sure.
Healthy
but he hasn't
scratch.
touched the food yet.
Right. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yours guess is as good as mine. The two moves that we made this week, the roster moves that we've made, we cut Darius Slay, which I don't know about that. I don't think I have an opinion on that yet. And then we signed Adam Thielen off the roster or off the waiver. So let's get to Darius Slay first, who was then claimed today by the Buffalo Bills. So he's going to go and play in Buffalo. Was it injury related? Because I know he was injured. I know he has been injured for a few weeks on and off. Was this injury related? Was this just a move that they wanted to do because they wanted to bring in Adam Thielen, which Darius Slay, which in turn probably facilitated and said, yeah, that's fine. Let me go. I want to go somewhere and play for a championship caliber team anyway. I kind of see the writing on the wall here. Not to mention, he was probably happy to leave, to be honest with you, because he's probably been in enough. I mean, he has been in enough locker rooms to know that what we got going on in here is not good, defensively and just team wise.
Yeah. So my take on that is, it's funny. I'm going to go back to the front office on this one.
Okay.
I think the Steelers thought that they were getting an all-pro type player. They got him pretty cheap, $7 million for 1 year. He came in and he proved that he was nothing better than a rotational piece. But again, I think that the Steelers overvaluing older players. Again, they didn't take a huge hit on that, which is no big deal. And now it's ironic to me. He asked for his release, supposedly, which is fine. He, from all intents and purposes, he fell behind Eccles, Joey Porter Jr., Pierre, and Samuel, who actually dressed last week. So that's interesting. And you bring in a guy, here we go, with Adam Thielen, who, it's kind of like the Mike Williams thing. You bring a guy to his career and you think he's going to help. It would have been great if we would have signed him earlier in the year to see what we could do. I mean, I think he'll help us. The moves they make are just ironic to me. Here we are at 6-6, fighting the Ravens for a division lead this coming Sunday. I have no faith in this team. If they go 3-3, that's the standard. They'll go 9-8 and they'll be over 500. I hope they. I hate to say it. I hope they lose, and I hope we do see Will Howard somewhere, maybe the last 2 weeks. I don't know.
I just hope that this winning season record gets broken. I'm sick and tired of it.
Me too. And you know, you and I talked about this ad nauseum. Aaron Rodgers is the best thing they did this offseason by far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you were on this from day one. I mean, you wanted this. Mm-hmm. I questioned it. I was totally wrong. He's been better than advertised. He's been the ultimate pro, the consummate pro. I mean, look at this weekend. he took blame for one pass to Ron Wilson. It wasn't his fault. He said it was, but it wasn't.
Right.
And then the Johnny Smith thing, he just said he missed the sign. That's all. It was not a big deal. Didn't cause a big star. We'll go back to the tapes. We'll practice together.
Right.
So, but man, the team has so many problems.
Right.
And we're just talking about the other side of the ball. The defense is in more shape than the offense. So,
yeah. So again, we have talked about this repeatedly, but one point that I always feel like needs to be made is that, being mediocre, being 9-8, being in that 15 to 25 range, you're not getting any knockout stellar first round players, right?
no.
So those, and again, this is still the first round. I understand it. They're still hot picks, but
right. But you have to hit on them.
Right. The sexy picks are always 1 through 10, right? Those are the
Right.
sexy picks.
Yeah.
But the picks after that, and especially towards the end of the round, nobody really gives a shit about. They're obviously more important for the teams that, need holes filled, or, they advertise them in their hometowns, like, oh, this is our number one guy. This is our number one pick, So they advertise that. But when you're constantly mediocre, you're constantly mediocre. You don't get any. I mean, I'm going to take a couple teams just for example. Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots, who else was there?
You can add Denver Broncos into that mix.
Denver Broncos, Chicago Bears. Okay. We're going to see if the Tennessee Titans can do it. But these are teams that all had one thing in common. They had losing seasons that put them in position to make good picks for players. Some of these are turning out to be franchise players. Bryce Young, franchise player.
Bo Nix.
Drake
player. May.
Drake May, franchise player. And it for all intents purposes too, they have turned these organizations around. Right? I mean, for crying out loud, look at the number one team in the NFL right now, the New England Patriots. They looked like a dumpster fire 2 years ago. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they're 11-2 and the best record in football. Drake May is the odds-on favorite for the NFL MVP. They are pretty much neck and neck with how crazy this sounds. I think they're still neck and neck with, they might have a slight edge at this point, with the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. And that's even the Chiefs being as bad as they are. But
right.
they're still, people still have faith in them, which can't really count them out, really, to be honest with you. But think about that. 2 years ago, nobody was smelling this team. Now they get a new head coach in there who has flipped that organization around in less than a year, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
He started this year, less than a year. And they're 11-2 on the year. 11-2. We were one of the teams that beat them.
Right.
So we got them on a bad day, in my opinion.
Yeah,
we got them on a bad
5 turnover day. Yeah, right.
21-14 was the final one, I think. My point in all of this is saying that we need to have one of those seasons so we can get up into the top 10, top 12, top 15, top echelon of picks and get somebody who can turn our franchise around. The Jets or the Giants probably have done that.
I agree.
In their own right with Jackson Dart. They just need to protect the kid.
Yep.
They need to teach this kid or else he's going to be 5 years and out, not, not 12 plus.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, this kid's taking some unnecessary hits, in my opinion. Although that play on the sideline was, it was a clean play, but boy, that was borderline. Yeah. That was borderline. Just get out of bounds. Okay, just get out of bounds. That extra yard is not worth it. Just get out of bounds.
No.
So those are the teams that we're going to be looking at for next year to say, okay, what is this really? you guys have it all together? Because again, Malik Neighbors has missed this entire year. He's going to be back next year. So
hmm
Jackson Dart's not even playing with his top receiver,
Right.
and he's played, 5 weeks almost, 4 weeks, 5 weeks without his number one running back.
hmm
Which,
Yeah.
in my opinion, he's going to be number one running back. He's going to be RB1 when the season starts next year. Not to mention
back next year.
Yeah, not to mention of all the other pieces that they're going to add to this team. People are going to want to go there. This is a destination that people want to go to. Pittsburgh, however,
Right.
is not. There's too many problems in and out of this in and out of the building. Which me and Jennifer were talking about this today. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we are going to look at teams on paper, and we're going to look back at the 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're going to look at them on paper. And then we're going to look at their record, their final record, whatever that's going to be. My opinion, it's going to be a losing season, 7-10, 8-9. And we're going to say, how in the world this team not at least win a playoff game or go to them? Think about the 5 stars we have on offense. Jonnu Smith, DK Metcalf, Adam Thielen now, Aaron Rodgers, and you could throw anybody else in there. Kenneth Gainwell, because he's done pretty well. You could say he's done.
He's done well. So is Warren.
Okay.
And you give him an opportunity.
Right. You could say those 5 players just on offense, and you think to yourself, "Wow, that's a stellar offense. That's a great offense." And then you look at the defense. Jalen Ramsey, it was Darius Slay, but it's not anymore. Jabril Peppers, T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, and
Patrick Queen.
Patrick Queen. That was the other one I was thinking about too. Patrick Queen. And you would think to yourself, those 5 players on defense, and you're thinking, nobody was able to run or pass on this defense whatsoever. We're going to look at this team on paper, and we're going to say this was probably the greatest team the Steelers have put together in an offseason and probably in history. And then you're going to look at that record. And then you're going to look at the Buffalo Bills game. And you're going to say that somebody ran for 274 yards on this defense? Are you kidding me?
Not only that, so let's go back 5-6 weeks ago. 2 games stick out in mind with this team. Thursday night, Joe Flacco's been a Bengal for 9 days.
Not even 9 days.
Right. They throw the ball 23 times to
one guy.
Jamar Chase. Right. 15 catches, 170 plus yards, a touchdown.
Yep.
Fast forward to Buffalo.
Yep.
29 plays. They ran one play 29 times.
It was 2 plays.
Well, one play was 29, one play was 17. Think about that.
It was 2 plays. It was a zone read run, and it was a duo run.
And
yeah,
I don't care. Cook, Ray Davis. It doesn't matter who's running the ball. They were just eating us alive. It does not matter.
They could have put your mom in there, and she
Right.
would have ran for 175 yards.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Grammy Shar could have been, game of the, you could have been player of the week just by going to play being
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So what a disappointment that has been for Pittsburgh, just in general. I mean, the national media, the local media, they're just crushing Mike Tomlin. Big Ben has even went on his podcast, Football, and suggested that he leave and go to Penn State.
Penn State. Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay. I don't want them being mediocre either. We'll get into that too, because I think we're sounding the alarm here for Penn State.
That's turned into a mess. Yeah.
It's turning gross. But every college coach should be thanking Penn State right now for getting them all extensions. if you think about it, every head coach that was thought about for Penn State jobs, all got extensions. Every
All got
single one of them.
extensions and went somewhere else. Yeah.
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 Big money.
Yep.
Anyway, before we get into college, let's wrap this one up with a bow. I have a theory that I heard on another podcast, and again, you're from Pittsburgh, you've probably heard it too. My theory is that the Rooneys and Mike Tomlin, after this season, are going to mutually part ways. I think this is Tomlin's last season, and I'll tell you why. Think in your mind. Try to imagine. It's April.
Is that loud? You need to turn it down.
You're downtown Pittsburgh. There's 250,000 people that have showed up to the NFL draft in Pittsburgh in 2026. And all they keep chanting on national television is fire Tomlin. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is going to sound on national TV? That everybody there is going to chant fire Tomlin. The pressure's on. The pressure's on.
Big time.
Because the city is getting very unnerved. They're getting restless. They're not putting up with the bullshit no more.
No.
So I think it would be a colossal disaster if they keep Tomlin up until the draft. They need to get rid of him way before that.
So think about this. Since 2016, our last playoff win,
mm-hmm.
the Penguins have had two coaches who won Stanley Cups and fired them both.
Yep.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Bosma, Mike Sullivan, and guess what? Your other coach. You know what I mean? Think about that.
Let's not
He's
forget,
gotten stale.
One of them coaches went back to back.
Right. So he's gotten stale. It's time. It's time.
But think about that too, right? One coach went back to back with Stanley Cups. Almost had a three-peat.
Right.
Almost had a three-peat. And then the following season, after those championships where he didn't win the cup or he didn't do well in the playoffs, get out of here, you're gone.
Yep. Sullivan comes in, changes the team, we win another one. Yeah. So
yep. Doesn't do well, and he decides, I'm out of here.
Yep.
They were going to pressure him out anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, and this was another thought I had too, which makes all the sense in the world if you think about it. If this is a business, like they all say it is, if this is a business and your business model is based on winning and making playoffs and things of that nature, you're not doing good business right now.
No, you failed miserably.
Right. Your business model is broken. You need to fix it.
Yep.
So, in my opinion, my theory is that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers will part ways this offseason before the draft. Because, again, Pittsburgh doesn't want that kind of heat on national television.
Right.
Of firing Tomlin.
To mention, we don't want to sit there with the 21st pick and draft an offensive lineman.
Right.
So
they should take their first and their second picks this year in the draft and try to move up. Try to move up and get a good offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I was thinking about this today. There's so much we could talk about. We could make a whole two whole shows just on this team and why they're not doing so well and the moves we made in the offseason, which I thought were horrendous at the time. The Cam Hayward deal, the TJ Watt deal. You can even throw in there the trade, which I thought was good at the time for DK Metcalf, but without surrounding him with a offensive line, another running mate, but you got him a star quarterback. You did nothing else to help. Trying to run Arthur Smith's system with five offensive linemen, one's probably playing good and the rest are really questionable. Just so much we could talk about, but that's for another time.
Okay.
So,
well, let me just, now that you brought that up, I have another thought about that.
Yeah.
We brought in Arthur Smith, right? And at the time, he was desperate for a job. He had just got fired.
Right. Yes.
I don't think this is Arthur Smith's offense.
Oh, I don't either. Dude, funny you say that. I had an hour-long conversation today during work when I was working about that. Arthur Smith, if you remember when he ran the Titans off as offensive coordinator with Ryan Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. He ran the football and threw down the middle of the field with tight ends. He does neither here. He's OC by name only. This is not his offense.
Nope. So, and that brings me to the next point too, in talking about there's nobody that's going to want to come here because they're not going to be allowed to run their offense.
Thank you.
They're not going to be allowed to run their offense because somebody who won't be named, Mike Tomlin, who won't let the offensive coordinator run their offense because he has a vision for this team and it doesn't line with his vision.
Right. We're exactly right. Absolutely. Because if this is Arthur Smith ball, we saw it in Tennessee, we saw it in Atlanta. It's about running the football, throwing the ball in the middle of the field.
If this was Arthur Smith's offense, Jonnu Smith would be top 5 tight end right now.
Dude, he'd be having 10, 11 targets a game.
Which, again, I don't understand. He's just as big as DK Metcalf. Put him on the end.
Right. Thank you. Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Watts, these guys would be all like targeted so many more times.
Not to mention, why aren't we running triple tight and running the ball?
Right. Thank you.
I mean, like you said, we can spend a week talking about all the crap that we can talk about on the Steelers, but we can't. But yeah, those were my few things that I wanted to hit. And yeah, so Monday night game. The Monday night game was something else, wasn't it? New England is like we said, just showing us why New England is arguably the best team in the NFL. Hard to say, or hard to deny that at this moment. I understand it was against a leaky New York Giants team, which was 2-10 at the time. Now they're 2-11, but New England still just fired on all cylinders. I mean, it's just they look phenomenal, and
they did.
And they look like they're getting hot in the first time. Right, and they look like they're getting even hotter at the right time.
They do. Yes.
Yes. Some other notable games that we wanted to look at real quick here. Seattle blanks Minnesota, but little did I know that J.J. McCarthy wasn't even playing this game, so it makes sense.
Right.
Broncos and the Commanders on Sunday night turned out to be a good game. Denver was all over them, and then the Commanders come back. Am I mistaken here? Was the DC of Denver fired, or was that just the Giants?
No, you're right on.
The DC of Denver was fired, right?
No, not Denver.
No, it was the Giants. The Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants DC was fired. Denver's DC might need to be monitored here because
their defense is head and shoulders. They should be playing a lot better than they are. So.
Agreed.
With that
and they almost blew that game in overtime.
I know. Yeah, so Benito doesn't knock that pass down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't hit that 2-point conversion.
Right.
They hit, I should say they hit that 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
The 49ers and the Cleveland Browns, 26-8. I thought Cleveland would have made it a little bit more interesting, but.
Yeah, I mean, it was 7-3 at the half, but.
Yeah.
There
was a lot of those. A lot of unders hit. Unders hit. So if you were on the under game this week, you made out quite a bit. Houston and Colts. Colts better figure out something here because they're going in a bad direction.
And Danny Dimes is playing with a broken fibula.
It's basically a broken leg. He's playing on.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I mean. Crazy.
Unreal.
It is.
But don't look now because that division's getting real interesting right now.
Listen, 8-4, 8-4, and 7-5.
And
you have the 8-4 teams playing.
And this week, the Colts are going into Duval.
Yes, Duval.
Which history shows they do not have a good record when they go into Duval
No,
to play the Jags.
they don't.
So you know
Right.
where I will be headed that week. That game.
Right.
I will take the trend. Kansas City Chiefs and the Cowboys on Thursday. Good game, back and forth. Bengals and Ravens. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Bengals decimated the Ravens.
Okay. So, two things real quick. Lamar Jackson isn't the same.
Nope.
Say what you want. He's not the same.
Not
Number
at all.
two, when the Bengals start Joe Burrow, they don't lose. They're 8-0 in his last 8 starts. That's insane that he finishes. Hold on, that he finished. Let me preface that
Right,
by saying that he finishes.
Correct.
And the statistics are crazy. When he starts 29.7 points a game, the defense only gives up 18. And they're playing better with him there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's interesting. Well, and listen, it's not out of the realm that this team could be. If they beat Buffalo this weekend, which would be crazy going into Buffalo, but it's not out of the realm that they could be in the taking for the division.
Yep.
They already beat Baltimore once. They play them again.
Yep.
So very interesting.
Yep. And they already beat us once.
Right.
So, yeah. Chicago and Philadelphia. Chicago, another team, man. Turned it around. Turned it around. And I think we can all agree here that Philadelphia is just not the team that they were last year.
No, they're not. They're not.
I wouldn't be surprised if AJ moves on this
Yeah.
year.
Agree.
Rumors going to New England.
Wow.
Not to mention, not only does New England have a pretty strong team this year, they also have all the money in the world next year.
I was gonna say yes because they're rookie quarterback. Yeah.
They got like 123 million for next year.
Yeah, it's sickening. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Green Bay and Detroit. That was on Thursday. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but boy, Detroit, man, are they falling apart?
They have problems in their own division right now.
Man, they're falling apart, man.
Green Bay has their number, and listen, this week there's about 5 or 6 games that are playoff games within their division. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you got the text from Matt. Matt and I spoke today a little bit. By the end of next week, we could have the first place team in each NFC division in second by the end of the weekend, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Dallas 6-5-1. All of a sudden, that defense is playing better. They beat a good. I hate Kansas City's fighting for their life now.
Yeah.
It's a huge game this weekend. Like you said, Detroit's falling apart. Kansas City's falling apart. It's like the changing of the guard, honestly, right now. It's crazy.
And you're seeing it live and in person right now before your very eyes.
There's not that one team you could say, yeah, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
We were talking about this today. If I ask you right now, who's going to the AFC Championship game, who's going to the NFC Championship game, we probably have 2 different answers. There's probably
we may not. I think
right. There's probably 6 teams from each conference we could all pick to put in there.
Well,
it's crazy.
I could tell you this much: if we both say who's going to make the playoffs, we're definitely going to have a lot of different answers.
Yeah, totally agree. That's what I'm saying. If we said championship game, I think it'd be different. I mean, it's crazy.
Me, in my opinion, I think who did I say? I obviously have in the AFC, I have New England in a championship game, in my opinion. And then who was the other one? Wasn't the Colts? Wasn't Buffalo either. Oh, Broncos, Denver.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I mean, 2 of the hottest teams. I mean,
yeah.
And
the way that both of those teams are playing, my edge is on New England. And then in the NFC, I'm thinking it's going to be Rams and Seahawks in the championship. And that game can go either way.
Oh, so as of today, if you ask me the 4 teams, I'd probably go New England. I think they're the safest bet to say they're going to be in the AFC.
Right.
I'm going to still go with my preseason predictor champion, which is Buffalo. I don't know why. I just have a feeling they're going to. But their defense is so bad. I don't know what's going to happen with them. And NFC, it's a crapshoot.
Yep.
The Rams will be hard pressed not to say they're going to be there.
Yep.
And I want to say Detroit, but man, they have some issues. Yeah. They have serious issues right now. I mean, I don't even know. The Rams and Philly, like you said, Philly's, man, a lot of issues there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If Philly makes the playoffs, I think they will, but in a chance that they don't. But if they make the playoffs, it's going to be a first round knockout. Okay. And again, we talk about, you just mentioned the Buffalo Bills. I think, again, for them, it's a first round knockout because at the end of the day, championship football is won by defenses. Can you make the stops on third down to get off the field, to stop these drives, to stop the momentum? I don't think Buffalo can. They have the firepower to catch back up, but if your defense can't stop anybody, then
that's the thing. Like,
yeah, you're tap dancing in quicksand.
You are.
Yeah.
Like, I think right now the 2 teams I trust the most in the NFL are the Patriots and the Rams. Even though the Rams lost to Carolina, I think they're probably the 2 teams I trust the most. Everybody else, Denver's probably in there in the next 3. Do I say the Bears? I don't trust them, but man, they're tough. They're 9-3.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to pick against them with how hot they are.
Right.
It's
crazy.
And the Rams losing to Carolina, I don't think they lost to Carolina. I think Carolina beat them.
Oh, I agree. Yep, Carolina beat them.
That's just the long and short of it. I mean, Carolina played a hell of a game.
Yep. Yep.
But again, it goes back to my point about, maybe it's okay to suck for a year, so you can go ahead and
totally
get, your guy. Hopefully we have our guy.
Or you make a staunch move like Andy Reid did and trade up to get a guy like Patrick Mahomes.
Bingo. We have the capital to do it, right? We're talking about in business terms here. We have the capital. We have the leverage,
12,
so to speak.
12 picks.
Yeah. Right. Right. We got 12 picks. And we got more picks too, if I'm not mistaken, when we did our trades. Right?
Yeah.
And the in-season, we had an in-season trade, did we not?
Yeah, we had a couple. I think we just swapped picks though.
Oh, okay.
That's
possible. That's possible.
Yeah.
But still, 12 picks, that's nothing to sneeze at, We can easily make a bundle for either a player or a pick.
Right.
I don't know who's all entering the NFL draft yet. I don't think we will know that until probably more towards the end of the year.
Right.
Obviously, you have to take your seniors and move them out, which I don't even know. Jeremiah Love and Jeremiah Smith, right? Those are probably the two that are coming out that are going to be like sought after.
Yeah, top 5, top. Well, I don't know about running back wise how high he'll go, but he'll be a top 15 probably. If Smith comes out, man, he'll be. Carnell Tate, I think, is the guy right now. Definitely, he's a senior at Ohio State. He'll be coming out for sure. If Smith comes out, oh my God,
I thought Smith was a senior.
He's only a sophomore.
Oh Jesus! So he was a freshman last year.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yeah.
He ain't leaving. Then. He ain't leaving.
No.
And the reason why he's not leaving is because he can make his money there.
Absolutely, that's the thing. And I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Why would you leave? You're still making money.
He doesn't have.
And
that's the same thing with Arch Manning too. He's staying. I think he's got another year of eligibility. He'll be staying too. There's no reason for him to go anywhere.
Right.
The only reason why Arch would probably, leave Texas is if that Sarkisian ends up getting That's the only,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So, any other notes that you have from this past week that you want to hit?
Just the injury bug hit some teams quarterback wise. Nothing major. I mean, we saw, like you mentioned, Darius Slay. We mentioned Adam Thielen. There's been I think 4 or 5 guys who decided to ask teams for releases. So that's pretty interesting this week.
Right.
Interesting note for the Colts. They cut badly their kicker.
Yeah. And then they
brought
signed
in 4 or 5
Group.
guys. They
signed Group,
Right.
the practice squad, and
Right.
they tried out Justin Tucker too.
They did. Yeah.
They gave him work.
And big news coming out of the Charger. Justin Herbert, broken hand, had surgery.
Had surgery. Herbaugh thinks that he's going to be good to go for this week.
Right. Good news for him to help is looks like Omarion Hampton's back on the way this week in the Monday night game against the Eagles, which is going to be a hell of a game. That's some of the bigger news.
Yeah. I was going to say here's some designation to return news, and that is McMillan and Mike Evans out of Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay could be back to getting hot at the right time.
And a team that needs some help right now.
Right. And that's not even what we're looking at as far as what Baker's going to be doing.
Right.
He still has that sprained
AC joint, yeah.
But we'll see how that holds up. Didn't hold up too well this past weekend. They took the they got the win. Yeah, they got the win. Yeah. Cardinals, but a 20-17, 20 points. That's got to be some of the lowest that they've had all year.
Yep. Fantasy wise, 3 things I noticed. I'm gonna name 3 players who really struggled the last 3 weeks. Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Ibuka.
Yeah.
And JSN.
I wouldn't worry about JSN though.
I wouldn't either, but I'm just saying I was shocked with 2 catches, 23 yards. Next week we'll probably come back with 12 for $180. Yeah. I'm not worried about him whatsoever, but
they probably they bracketed him probably all game.
Oh, and then Charbonnet and Walker had nice games for them. So
and that's that's the trade-off too. You end up winning 26-0. So your guy only gets 2 catches for 26 yards. And our running game is out of control. Do we?
Right, they pounded the ball, didn't need to throw. So
and that's the thing, they didn't have to. So that doesn't alarm me that much. What alarms me are the other guys you talked about, the guys that are more important in those offenses than anything else.
Right.
But the problem with Tyler Warren not getting that much work was the fact that Josh Allen Hines, right? Is that his name?
Yeah. Yep.
Josh Allen, that linebacker.
Josh Hines Allen.
Hines Allen. Allen Hines. The linebacker from Houston.
Jacksonville.
Houston. They just played the Colts.
Oh yeah.
Because he's not with the Jaguars anymore, apparently. He right? Am I saying that right?
No, he is with the Jaguars.
Okay, well then I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway,
you're thinking of the linebacker. He had a monster game this week against Indy.
That's my point. 8 sacks.
Yes.
The most
8 sacks.
The most he ever had in his career was 4.
Right.
In one game, he had 8.
Right.
And the reason why is because all they had to do was blitz Danny Dimes all game long because he couldn't move.
Right.
Couldn't move. He could barely stand with that broken leg.
Right.
So
exactly.
If you're wondering why Tyler Warren was absent in that game, that's why. Danny Dimes didn't have dick time to throw with.
Right.
And then who was the other guy that you said?
Tyler Warren. And Mbuka.
Mbuka. Yeah, it seems like Arizona's defense is a little bit better than I think we give it credit for.
Yeah,
'Cause they have a lot of tight games. But
right,
and the other hindsight to that too, I'll play devil's advocate on this one as well. Baker's not 100%,
right.
so they probably bracketed him because they knew that he's basically their moneymaker. Uh, and Tez Johnson has spurts where he is phenomenal, but it's still he's still the fifth best receiver they have. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
so but yeah,
Good thing for them is they got Bucky Irving back,
right.
so
I
that
mean,
helps.
as we see in fantasy all the time, you got your highs, you got your lows. It's a roller coaster all the
Yeah,
time. You got good games, you got bad games. Um, but yeah, the one that probably uh, got hurt the worst this year was Justin Jefferson.
oh
Um,
yeah,
I don't even know
yeah.
what he did in this 26-0 loss, but it wasn't much apparently, 26-9.
No,
So, but with that being said, that was last week. Let's talk about this week. We got some great games coming up. And one of the ones that we're going to talk about is the Thursday night game, which is the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions in Detroit. A struggling team versus an up and coming team. And the Dallas Cowboys are going to get 3, and the over under is set at 54.5. This is a must win for the Lions, in my opinion. They have to win. If not, they're going down 7-6. Um, they're losing footing even more in the conference, not only just in the division itself, but they need a moral victory. And the only way that you're going to get that is by winning this game. On the other hand, the Cowboys are hot, right? They have two of the most dynamic, at this point, I hate to say it, but they have two of the most dynamic wide receivers that are playing the game right now. One of which is in the top 5 for receiving yards. Um, and the other guy just gets open all the time. Doesn't matter what you do um, as far as covering him. Now, the only thing that I would worry about in this instance is Arnold. Is he playing for Detroit? That I don't know for sure.
he has season-ending surgery today.
Okay, well then there's your answer. Arnold is not playing again this year,
And
which is going to hurt
and
them
the other
even
big
worse.
news was Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't practice yesterday. I don't know about today. I didn't hear any news on him today.
They didn't, and that was the funny thing too, is that they designated a few players on their roster for IR, I believe. Amon St. Brown was not one of them.
Okay, that's good. That's positive.
Right. So right now he is questionable. I think what they're doing is they're trying to keep him off of that list so they can get him back faster, but he may not play this game either. And obviously that is going to hurt big time. The Cowboys getting 3 on the road, as hot as they are, the Lions on their schneid. I got to take the Cowboys in this scenario, getting points and being almost a better team at this point. The 54.5, boy, that kind of scares me. But both of these defenses don't seem to stop anybody when they need to. So that 54.5, I kind of have to take the over in this game too. It's inside, it's in a dome. Um, both of these teams are dome teams, so 54.5 might be a little bit too small for these two teams at this juncture in time in the
Yeah. I'm with you on Dallas. I'm flipping a coin on the over/under.
year.
Uh,
Hey, I'm just saying. I think the overs last week were like 14-2 or something like that, or like
yeah,
11-5. I mean, they were the unders. The unders hit all
yeah.
day.
I'm going to go over myself this game. Those offenses
So
are too potent. Um, Detroit, there's something not right with them. Dallas's defense seems to be getting stronger after they made a couple trades. Let's not to harp on the trade, but the Michael Parsons still looks better and better for them every week, it seems. Those
come out.
first and Ken Sparks coming out and playing really good, solid run defense.
Yeah, you would have thought that giving up all that what they did for one player, and here they went and fallen in a bucket of shit and come out smelling like roses
Yeah.
right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would probably have to guess that Matt's probably going to be on the Cowboys as well. But he likes to throw
Probably.
curveballs. He likes to throw curveballs sometimes. But
Yeah.
I got me and you both on the Cowboys and the over, correct?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the fair play.
Yep.
The notable games that we're going to be looking at this year before we head into the college realm, Cincinnati and Buffalo is going to be one to pay attention to. Saints and Bucks, another one to pay attention to. Divisional game. Saints can play spoilers in this game and really muddy up the waters for Tampa Bay. The Colts and Jags. Let's see how the Colts respond.
Big game. Huge game. Huge game. Yeah.
Steelers and Baltimore. It's a big game for us. Divisional game. We're still playoff teams. We're 6-6 between the two of us.
Right.
Pretty much whoever wins this game is probably going to end up winning division. Let's just
Probably.
let's go ahead and say what it is. And this is I hate to say that because that's not even the case because this is the first meeting between the two teams.
Yeah. We played it last week of the season.
We still have one more. Chicago and Green Bay.
Great matchup.
It's going to be a massive game.
Yes.
In the 4:00 hour, the 4:25 hour, and then Sunday night, huge game. It's going to be Houston and Kansas City.
Must win for Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean huge game there. And then the Monday night game is not as big. It's not as big really for the Chargers as it is the Eagles. Both teams really need to win. But the biggest thing out of that game is going to be if Herbert starts. And if he doesn't, Mike, who is their backup?
Trey Lance.
Okay, Trey Lance.
Yep. So, he took 2 series last week before Herbert came in. So, interesting.
Okay. If Trey Lance starts, then I'm taking the Eagles.
Yes. More than likely. Totally agree.
More than likely.
Yeah.
But the Colts, I don't care who starts that game. It could be.
I'm taking you. I got to take Jacksonville. I got to take Jacksonville.
I got to follow the trend. Trend. Right. Trend is that the Colts cannot win in Jacksonville.
Right.
So, yeah, those are.
That Danny Dimes injury just worries me, man.
Well, at this point, it couldn't have happened at the worst time.
Right.
The worst time of the year to have an injury like that happen, and it is now. It's so bad. Like, here's how bad Anthony Richardson is in their eyes. They'd rather play a quarterback with a broken freaking leg than put AR in.
There you go. I didn't think about that.
That should tell you something, right?
That should tell you something. Yeah. I see a lot of Jonathan Taylor and a lot of Jonathan Taylor handoffs in that game. So
hey, look, I see a lot of Tyler Warren Wildcat. Okay.
Yes.
In that.
Yes.
He's he's done it quite a bit when he was at Penn State.
He has.
So,
yeah.
So yeah. So with that being said, let's transition since I said Penn State. Penn State job. It is still vacant. Today was National Signing Day, the first day of National Signing Day, and the last time I saw it is that Penn State went from 137 down to 150. Boy, how the mighty have fallen in this case. Still, my opinion.
Let me ask you, I'm curious because I asked my cousin the same thing.
Okay.
Do you think that the AD overvalued what either held his ground too much or overvalued how many people would look into the job?
I don't think he overvalued it. I think he had a number of people look into the job. Here's what I think could happen. Okay. I think he oversold the job, not overvalued it or anything like that. I think he oversold it. Because here's the other part of it, right? Think about it in this aspect. If you get a new coach that comes in, he has no idea who these players are. He's going to try to bring in his players, right?
Right.
Which, can come with its own its own problems. But you have no recruiting class coming in because nobody knows that you're going there until the last minute, and then you might get some of your recruits that you had flip. Like, for example, let's take James Franklin, since we're talking about James Franklin had 3 or 4 Penn State commits decommit and then recommit to Virginia Tech today.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if a new coach comes in, he's going to get some of his recruits to decommit and then recommit to Penn State, which would be great. But you're also going to lose a bunch of guys in the transfer portal as well.
Right.
A lot of which built this team. The other part about that is a new coach is going to come in here with the most pressure on him in the world, as far as winning immediately with the schedule they have and the boosters and and everything like that. Right.
Well, one good thing about next year, you look at their schedule next year, it's actually a great time to come with a new coach. They miss Ohio State. They miss all the big guys. So,
but if you think about it in that aspect, it's the worst time to come in.
Well, because of recruiting, you want to play the big guys.
Well, not to mention they're going to expect you to go out there and be the number 1 in the country, since you're not playing Ohio State, since you're not playing all these bigger guys, right?
Right.
So their expectations are too high.
Right.
With a guy like Terry Smith, I'm thinking, give the guy a shot. Give him 2 to 3 years. See what he does. You know what I mean? The guys already want him there. They're playing for him now. They want to play for him. He's won 3 games. He's won 3 games this year in his interim role. It's not like he's losing all these other games. He almost beat the number 2 team in the country. Let's not forget about that. He was second.
Right.
He was 1 inch away from beating the number 2 team in the country.
Right.
I understand now that doesn't look great on paper. It's still a loss in the loss column. It's still 1 in the loss column. But when you actually watch that game, they held their own. They held that game down.
They should have won that game.
Should have won.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that itself should be something that you hang your laurels on. You hang your hat on to say, hey, look, he can do it. He can go out and, what's going to happen if we give him an entire year?
Right.
And, he's worked closely with James Franklin, so I'm sure he has good talking skills and able to recruit and take tips from arguably what they say is one of the better recruiters in the college football right now, in James Franklin. Working hand in hand with him, he had to have picked up some tricks of the trade.
Right.
He probably would have a lot of the Northeast and part of maybe the Northwest, only for like up until like maybe Indiana.
Right.
But James Franklin's going to have pretty much the entire East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So out of this area, you can get some good guys out of Ohio, out of Pennsylvania. You maybe even to go and pluck some from Florida that don't make, those teams and stuff like that, which is great. You need some of those speed guys anyway. So who knows? I think that they oversold the job with expectations in it.
I just think they dragged their feet too long, and they needed to make a decision.
And here's the other thing about it too. They couldn't make a decision. They couldn't, because every time they tried to.
Oh, right. Someone signed.
Colleges that were catching wind that their head coaches were talking to Penn State were like, no, we're going to sign you for more money and more time. And those guys thought to themselves, I already have a pretty good gig here. I don't have to move my family. I don't have to deal with these new boosters and this pressure. Yeah, I'm just going to stay here. I'm getting more money now. I'm just going to
Right.
stay here. What's the point of moving? You know,
Right.
the biggest name that came out was the BYU head coach,
Right.
and he was talked about. And then BYU came out and said, no, 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 no. We'll give you, X
Yeah.
amount of dollars for X amount of years. You could stay here.
Yep.
He said, deal.
Yep.
Matt Roll was one of the first ones. They were talking,
Yep.
people were talking about
Well,
linking Matt Roll
the
to Penn
list
State.
list
And,
is insane.
it's
Yeah, the
ridiculous.
list is insane.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, Signetti, Roll,
Signetti was the
you know,
second one.
Right.
Georgia Tech today locked up their
Yep.
head coach.
Yep. Yep.
Some of the other coaches that did end up moving. I have my list here. Lane Kiffin, he goes from Ole Miss to LSU, 7 years, 91 mil. Alex,
That's interesting.
that's a cluster in itself. Let's get through this and we'll go back to that. Alex Golesh goes from UCF, goes to Auburn, 6 years, 44. Eric Morris goes from North Texas to Oklahoma State. Not sure what his money.
Great hire.
Yeah.
Great hire, though.
Not sure what his money aspect is. James Franklin, obviously, we know where he was and where he went to. 5 years, 41 million, almost 42. Which kudos to Penn State too, because now they don't have to pay him 50 million. They don't have to pay him
absolutely.
8. They only have to pay him 8. So
right.
Hey, good business decision that way. Ryan Silverfield went from Memphis going to Arkansas. 5 years, 33. Here's an interesting one. Ready? Jim Mora
leaves UConn
for Colorado State.
I know. I don't get that one. Well, it makes sense for this. He has ties to that university. That's the only reason it makes sense.
I get that, but he has UConn, and
dude,
they have a Heisman rated quarterback.
Yes.
They have a good team this year.
They do.
And they're independent.
Yes.
I don't know. That seems like a very fishy one.
That was a big head scratcher to me too.
Yeah. 5
very
years,
much so.
13.5 mil. John Sumrall went from Tulane to Florida, 6 years, 44, almost 48. Pete Golding, in-house hire for Ole Miss. And then the last one here, Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern to Michigan State, which in my opinion is just a move over. It's not a move up.
Yeah, agree.
But the big one that we kind of are snickering about right now is the Lane Kiffin one. Whew, this turned into a cluster, big time. And then we're just finding out. And then we're just finding out now too is that LSU is retaining some of the guys that he wants to bring with him.
Yes, exactly.
And
yes,
he wanted to stay and finish out the season with his team, which I can understand, and I can also understand why the AD for Ole Miss was like, no, you want to leave us, go ahead and leave us. The hell with you. So I understand that aspect too, but I mean, LSU is its own brand. It sells itself, right? You don't have to recruit really.
Right.
Right. And I guess it was just one of those things that because he had a good thing going in Ole Miss, and he probably had a perennial college football playoff team at Ole Miss had he stayed.
Yes, for sure.
I don't know. Sometimes you just don't quite know what the motives are, really, like the real motives behind it. To me, it sounded like from hearing him talk, it was a notch on the belt.
I think two things. That right there, I think he's a big ego boost for him.
Yeah.
And number two is it's hard pressed to find a better recruiting fertile ground in the country than Louisiana, state of Louisiana.
Right.
I mean, and he wasn't a big fan of the NIL to begin with. So I think he can bring his own players, whatever he bring with him, and get some NIL. But recruiting was always his big thing. And man, he can recruit and he can bring some big players. Funny story though, I don't know if you heard this one. His daughter's boyfriend plays for LSU.
Plays for LSU.
Yeah, so when he heard Kiffin was going, he transferred.
Shut up.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
Pretty funny. Yeah.
I think that is hysterical. I don't think it's.
I think it's
funny.
hilarious.
I don't think it's pretty funny. I think it's hysterical.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, maybe he was gonna cut his future son-in-law.
Maybe.
Or somewhere along the lines of, hey, my daughter's mad at you, so I'm not playing you.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's probably for the best anyway. That
it is. Yeah.
That he's not playing.
Oh,
for him.
Another big news, what we didn't cover real quick: the number one overall recruit in the country, quarterback, flipped from Georgia to Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Good pull up. Yes.
I mean,
very interesting that the number one. I thought he might have been the number 2, to be honest with you. But anyway,
he's from Nashville. I know that he wanted to stay home,
but it's not every day you hear about a large team like that losing a top recruit to let's say it is what it is, a smaller team, right?
Mid-major team school. Right. I mean, they're the SEC. They're kind of like a mid-major team. Right. I mean,
and I don't think anybody really could have saw that one coming.
No, I think the kid's stats this year were something like 48 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, plus he had like 18 rushing. I mean, the kid's 66 touchdowns this year and 2 picks. Like, that's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, the humorous thing to me, which is a great comparison college-wise, they're looking at him as the next Jay Cutler, because he was a hell of a quarterback at Vandy.
Yeah.
You think of Jay Cutler, though, you think of, his career in the NFL, which didn't work so good. But he was a hell of a quarterback at Vandy, I mean. So,
Jay Cutler was good for the NFL. It's just that, he didn't really amount to much.
Right.
He was good. He was good in a regular season. He was kind of like Phillip Rivers. Great in a regular season, but when it came down to it, no, not really.
Right.
Jay Cutler was the best Bears quarterback since Jim McMahon.
Easily.
Caleb Williams was the best Bears quarterback since Jay Cutler. So don't sell Jay Cutler short. I mean, dang. So yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a dynamic though that you don't want to be playing with. Boyfriend. Future father-in-law.
Yeah, decommits, man. I heard that. He's transferring. I started cracking up when I heard that today.
That's hilarious. And the Vanderbilt, you're seeing all this success that for Vanderbilt's getting, and you kind of get excited, and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I want to do that too, right? They're getting all kind of national media. They're getting, they're probably gonna make the CFP.
Right.
Maivia's he may even win the Heisman. I think he's second place to Mendoza. So,
right.
I mean, if you're gonna go to Vanderbilt, now's the time.
It is.
And again, everybody gets all excited, and it's kind of funny. I just thought about this too. Everybody gets all excited about these guys, committing to these schools. They'll be gone in a year.
I was going to say with the NIL, it's totally different.
They'll be gone in a year, man. They'll end in a transfer portal, and they'll be gone. Which, transfer portal is another discussion altogether. It should be after all the championship games.
Yep, totally agree.
Okay, it should be like the NFL. Yep. You have your signing, your
free agency period.
Free agency period. It should be the same way because let these guys finish what they started.
Yes.
The coaches
Yes.
too. I mean, move the recruitment windows, move the transfer portal, move the signing day, move all of that stuff. Your model
Yep.
should be based off the NFL. Okay. We finally got a 12-team playoff, and I think for the most part, the fans and everybody loves it, in my opinion. And that's my opinion
Love it.
too, and it's biased because I love it. I like
I
the
love
fact
it.
that there's playoffs, college football. Now they're not just a bunch of old people sitting around a room and thinking, well, this team is better than that team, and I like that team, so they're number one, and that team is
Right.
better than that team, and I like that team, so they're number two, and they should play each other, and that's the national championship. That was basically what the
Interesting.
BCS was.
Yeah. So the good thing that came out about this is I heard a great quote today. Up until they started having these playoffs and let it be you went on the field,
Right.
especially these 12-team playoffs. So out of the preseason top 25, 13 are no longer in it.
Right.
So that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe you shouldn't have rankings until week 6.
Right. Right.
So
I mean, I can understand your preseason poll and stuff.
Oh,
like
me
that,
too. Absolutely. Yeah. Right.
But
Yeah.
when you lose your first week and you're if you're in the top 25 and you lose your first game, guess what? You shouldn't be in the top 25 no more.
Right. Right. Notre Dame lost their first 2 and was still in it.
Right. Right. You can't take a team like that serious.
No.
Now, granted, Notre Dame has fought back, but again, they can still do that. But if you have, what is it, like there's 204 teams or something like that, okay?
Right.
I think in the FBS there's 137?
130, yeah.
137, 138, whatever it is. And your top echelon of 50 teams play each other in the first week, and half of them lose. Well, guess what? The half that lost are from 26 to 50. The half that won are 1 through 25.
Thank you.
And you rank them on how much they won by, or the rate of the win. If it came down to the wire, if it was exciting, if they blew them out, things like that. And some of these non-conference games too. Can we stop playing D3 teams?
Oh yes, please.
And padding stats. Like me as a consumer, I don't give a shit about like Penn State and Villanova. I didn't give a shit about that. I don't care to watch it.
Right.
Georgia and who the hell did they just play?
Like Old Dominion or something like that.
No,
I don't know.
It was somebody that's in the it's actually ironic. It's somebody that's in the FCS playoffs right now. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. I know exactly who they are because I remember their logo. Mercer. They were 9-1 when they played them. They were 9-1 when they played them, right? Mercer was. And they lost 62-17. I'm sorry, it was Auburn, not Georgia.
Okay.
But it was Auburn. And they lost 62-17. If I'm an Auburn fan, I don't give a shit. I don't want to watch that. I don't even want to go to it.
No.
It's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You want to get the best teams at the end of the year? Just like the NFL. Play the best teams.
Yep.
I understand it's they make these schedules 2, 3, 4, 5 years in advance. And they cut these deals with these smaller schools so they can play these tune-up games, so to speak. But we gotta stop. We gotta stop doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Auburn at the end of the year, who could have been ranked this year, had their season gone differently, could have been the number 1 team in the country, and they're going to play Mercer with 1 week left in the season. Like, come on, really?
Yep.
The Big Ten. There's 15 teams now in the Big Ten, something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. the Big Ten, you play 15 teams. The only non-conference games that you should be playing are other Big Five conferences.
Right. Well, I'm just looking up. Funny you say that. So that same week, because the SEC does it at the end of the year all the time. The
Mhm.
same week Auburn played Mercer.
Yeah.
Alabama played Eastern Illinois, who was 3-9,
Right.
like 3-8 at the time. Like you won 56-0. What did that do for you? Nothing.
No.
You know.
No.
I mean,
all it did was pad your stats.
right.
And basically kick somebody while they were down. What is
Right.
fun and exciting about that? You know?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
games like that you throw on, like, again, because I'm a big Penn State fan, so I'm watching at the beginning of the year. I'm watching Penn State versus Villanova, and I'm barely watching it. It's just on in the background because it's Penn State game.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? But again, you got 15 teams in the Big Ten. Play the Big Ten for 12 weeks.
Yeah. Well, here's an ironic thing this year. In a Pac-12, I think, someone played, Washington State played someone. It wasn't considered in the Pac-12, but it wasn't considered a conference game because they already played their conference games.
So they
Yeah,
played
so
their, they played their conference, but it didn't count.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. See, those are the things with college football that are broken that need fixed ASAP.
Right. Right. Big time.
And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the bigger reasons why a lot of these people that are still upset with the playoff picture are upset with the playoff picture
Yes.
because of those types of games.
Yeah.
If you shouldn't be playing any team that you shouldn't be playing any team that you can beat with your third string starters.
Right. Well, what does it benefit the university? It doesn't. In the conference.
It doesn't, because the conference, or the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Auburns, they're paying those other schools to play them.
Right.
So you're not gaining anything off of that. You're actually paying money into that. These other schools aren't signing up to say, hey, we can take on the champs and beat them. No, they're saying, hey, how much money are you going to pay us for letting us come up there and you guys beat the shit out of us? Because we all know it's going to happen. You got a bunch of 5-star recruits playing a bunch of 2- and 3-star recruits. I mean,
right.
The mathematics will show you that it's not going to add up. I was going to say, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, the game I'm talking about, Washington State played Oregon State twice this year. One counted, one didn't, as a conference game.
Right.
Because it was already pre-scheduled.
Yeah. So something along those lines probably have happened to where a team that they were supposed to play bowed out.
They did. That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
And then they threw a random team in.
Both teams had that happen, and they both had open dates and said, well, hell, let's play it.
Right.
And actually, because Washington lost the first match, Washington State lost the first game, but they won this game and helped them become bowl eligible, which is pretty funny. So,
So basically,
I mean,
it almost seems like that's what it is, though. It almost seems like that's the catch-all. You have these tune-up games in the middle of the year, the end of the year, to almost make sure that you're bowl eligible at the end of the year.
Yeah, because the NCAA doesn't want to cut. Like last year, they had 4 teams because teams elected not to play in games. Mm-hmm. There were 5 and 7 teams who ended up playing in bowl games because of that.
Right.
So you're exactly right. Why they do that?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it needs fixed. Bottom line, it needs fixed.
Right.
Right. All right. So let's pick some of these games, and then we can call this one a night. All right. On Friday, since we're going to pick these games, since this will be about the time that we go live ourselves. So on Friday, I have the Sun Belt Championship played, and it is Troy at 8-4 playing James Madison, ranked 25th. And James Madison is giving 23.5 and the over/under is set at 47.5.
Wow.
So James Madison is 11-1. Troy is 8-4.
Wow.
I got to be
That's
honest.
crazy.
Yeah, I got to be honest though. That 23.5 doesn't really scare me.
Wow. Especially James Madison, knowing they have to win with a shot at a possible NCAA college football berth.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is the only one. This is the only one where it's like out of control for Friday. All the other games
Right.
are reasonable. And their over/unders aren't so much reasonable, but the
Right.
the spreads are. I'm going to go ahead and pick. I'm going to take the Commodores, or whatever the hell they are. The James Madison Washingtons, or
Are they the presidents or something like
presidents, or yeah, whatever they are. I'm taking them. I'm laying these points. I think they're going to blow them out. I'm going to take the over as well. I understand it's a conference championship game, but there's a reason why they're giving Troy 23.5. They're giving them 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm definitely with you on James Madison. I'm going to take the under, though, in this one. I think they are going to blow them out.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Mike. They're not going to blow them out 25-0. They're going to blow them out 48-0. Which
It'll be 45 nothing. They'll stay under.
All right. Try to talk you out of it that way. If I lose, you lose. So the next game, Conference USA Championship. And this one is a more manageable game. This one is Kennesaw State versus Jacksonville State. Kennesaw is giving 2.5, and the over/under is 59.5. So these next over/unders are all going to be pretty high, but the spreads are going to be a little bit more reasonable.
59.5. Damn. And they just to let you know, these two teams played November 15th, and Jacksonville State won 35-26 in the first matchup.
So that's why the total was 59.5.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville State won that game.
35-26. Yeah.
Was that a home game or an away game for Jacksonville?
It was. Hold on. It was at Jacksonville State.
It's funny because Kennesaw State's the one giving points, so they're the favorites in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. I think Kennesaw State gets their revenge. I'm going to take K-State. I'm going to take the under in this game, though. I think it's going to be tight.
I am with you on Kennesaw. I'm going the over, though.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be closer because they've had that blowout already. That blow up, so they're gonna play a little bit tighter. They're gonna look back at those films and say, well, okay, this is what they did. This is what we did. I think they're gonna tighten.
These spreads are tight for these games.
Yes,
it's impressive.
They are, which makes this fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes this really fun. Okay, here we go. Top 25 teams. Okay, top 25 matchup. The American Championship, or the American Athletic Championship, which is the AAC. This is number 24 ranked North Texas going to play number 20 ranked Tulane, which both of these teams have new coaches.
Interesting.
Tulane is getting 2.5. And the over/under is set at 66.5.
God damn.
Yeah, I told you that the over unders are high, the spreads are manageable.
Yeah. All right, I'm picking first.
Good.
I'm picking this because I don't know if you know, but North Texas is their team name is the Mean Green, and it's because of Joe Green.
Okay.
So I'm taking North Texas, who's 11-1, and I'm going the over in this one.
Over. Whoa.
The mascot of North Texas is Mean Joe Green. You gotta love it. So I'm taking North Texas and the over.
I'm automatically taking the under. If we're going to go off on everything, then I'm going off on this game too. 66.5. Good Lord. I wanted North Texas to beat Notre Dame in the worst way, and they let me down. Tulane has got a very interesting color scheme of their green and baby blue.
Well, they're both green. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but Tulane is green and baby blue, a dark green, like
Yeah.
a hunter green, forest green.
Yep.
North Texas is more of a lime green. I'm going to take the points in this game. I'm going to take the 2.5. I'm going to take Tulane.
Okay.
I think North Texas losing their coach is probably going to be hurtful for them for this game. I don't know if he coaches this team in this game. I didn't hear anything about it.
I'm not sure about these two coaches. I know they both recent,
Yeah,
so I'm not sure.
I know both of these teams have new coaches or will have new coaches.
Yeah.
So I think Tulane pulls it together enough to keep that. And you said you have North Texas, so
Yeah, North Texas in the over. You got Tulane in the under.
And then the last one on our Friday slate that we can talk about is the Mountain West Championship. And that is unranked opponents, UNLV 10-2 versus Boise State at 8-4. Boise State is going to give 3.5, and the over under is set at 58.5. I'm sorry, that changed. It is now 4.5. So they are giving 4.5, but the over under has stayed the same at 58.5.
Okay. This is a rematch.
Okay.
From October 18th.
Okay.
UNLV Boise State at home won 56-31.
Boise State won.
Yes, 56-31.
And they were also at home.
Yes. Yeah.
I got to go under on this one then. But I'm going under. I'm still taking Boise on this.
Okay.
I think Boise's in their head. I think because they put up so many points, I think they own them. So I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take Boise.
Well, I'm going to tell you Boise State and the over in this one. I know who Matt's taking this one, so I already marked this down for him.
Okay.
Yeah, Boise. He's taking Boise State in this one too. Trust me.
Okay, so I'll put him down for Boise State then.
Yeah.
And then
I guarantee you're going to laugh. He'll say that when he comes on Friday. Yeah, Boise. So.
Did you also have the under in this game as well?
No, I have the over.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this one's the 4.5 is interesting to me because of the big mess they beat him by 25. So
yeah,
that's really crazy. But since that game, he went on a tear. So
right. That's what I'm thinking too. But
yeah,
I'm thinking Boise's in their head. Yeah, I think Boise's.
He's 10-2 for Christ's sake. I mean, they.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, the rest of the games that we have going on here, let's just do a little recap real quick, a little preview into what Saturday's going to look like for the big games. We'll talk about on Friday about the second round of the FCS playoff when we get there, but the big games on Saturday, the Big 12 championship, number 11 BYU taking on number 5 Texas Tech. Well, I'm sorry, number 4 Texas Tech now. I wrote these in obviously a couple days ago. That one's a big one. Texas Tech
Yeah.
is given 12.5.
That's big.
Yeah. And then the MAC championship, Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan. Western Michigan's given 2.5. SEC championship, which is where game day is going to be number 3, Georgia versus number 9, Alabama.
Yeah, how is game day not at Ohio State? 1 versus 2.
Listen, I thought the same thing, Mike. I actually, when I made this spreadsheet, I had Indiana and Ohio State as where game day was going before I found out where they were going. And I can't,
Come on.
I can't.
That's an SEC bias. I'm sorry.
Yep. That is exactly what it is. And that's some of the shit that I can't stand, which is why I think that they need to redo this whole regular season bullshit.
Right. So
And it's
speaking of the bias, you look at the top 25 rankings, right? And you have teams like Missouri 8-4. Okay, I get it. They've had a great year. You have teams like Texas 9-3. I mean, they beat up each other, but they weren't that impressive this year. I get why they're in the top 25, but why are they not? College game day should be where 1 and 2 play.
Yeah.
It's not even. It shouldn't even be a question.
Mm-mm. And what's crazy is that you just named, Missouri, who's 8-4, which had a good year this year. But you know what? Boise State's also 8-4. So why aren't they ranked?
Thank you.
And they beat UNLV already.
Right, and UNLV's 10-2.
Right.
Like, why aren't they ranked?
Right.
I
mean, that's
Vanderbilt. I mean, listen, yeah. I understand why Vanderbilt's in the top 25. Right. But Texas, if they didn't beat Texas A&M, they wouldn't be in the top 25. No. Like it just the SEC bias is.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing because we talked about Texas was the preseason favorite number 1, right? Penn State number 2. Texas loses those 2 games this year, and they fall out of the top 25, and then they win 1 game and they're back in the top 10.
Right. Come on, man. Exactly.
It's like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get representatives from everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that there's bias because of the SEC and everything like that, but you should have 1 representative for all Big 5 schools, and then make your rankings, right?
Right.
Because I think everybody can agree. Okay, Ohio State's the best team in National Football League, or not National, but College Football League.
Right.
I think more than most would agree that, and they'd say, okay, that's fair. Big Ten, you got your guy, and then you go down the line. And then I'm sure at some point you're going to butt heads like, I don't think that team, I think this team. Okay, let's put it up to a vote. Coin flip it, okay, so to speak. And then when these teams play, who they play, you can come back to the table and said, you were right, I was wrong. Your team performed this week, mine didn't, so we're going to move your team up, we're going to move my team down. Right?
Right.
Something of those natures.
Yep.
This is college football has been nothing but a popularity contest since it all started.
Right. I mean, honestly, you look at there's 6 teams ranked in the Big Ten. Okay, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, Michigan, Iowa, all deservedly so, in my opinion.
Aiden, shut up.
You look at the SEC. I'll say, okay, I'm going to give you. There are 7 teams ranked: Georgia, A&M, Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma, Vandy, Texas. How is Texas at 13 at 9-3?
Right. And if it
was Oklahoma number 8, you and I have sat there and watched them play, and like, this team's not that impressive.
No, they played god awful.
That's what I'm saying.
They played.
Yet they're number 8 country. Come on, man.
Well, let's not forget here too. A lot of these teams that are playing for or not ACC. I'm just looking at it. Which is a lot of these teams that are playing for conference championships, whether they win or lose, they're still going to make the playoffs.
Right.
Some of these teams that are playing for championship games, if they lose or if they
They're
win,
done.
if they
They're
win,
going to vote.
if they win, they're still not going to make the playoffs.
Right. Exactly.
Because somebody who, like, for example, Georgia and Alabama, the loser of this game is going to make the playoffs no matter what.
Yep.
Virginia and Duke, the winner of this game, probably not going to make the playoffs.
I think Miami has a better shot to get in.
And they're not even playing for a championship.
Right, that tells you a lot about them.
You need to tell me how that is possible.
Right. How could you not play in your conference championship yet get into the college football playoffs?
Right.
And I said this last year. 11-1 FSU team lost 11-0. They lost one game in the ACC title game and didn't make the college football playoff.
That was back when it was 4 teams.
Right. You know, it was 8 teams actually when that happened, and they didn't get in.
Yeah.
So it's just broken.
This goes to.
It's that SEC bias, man. It really is.
And this is going to end up going to, they should do exactly what Division II do, 1 through 24.
Right.
They have them ranked 1 through 24. 24 plays 1 all the way up and down. First round of the playoffs. I think they said it was going to add like 1 or 2 weeks more of the season.
Well, actually, how they do it, 1 through 8 have buys.
Right.
And then 9 plays 24, 10 plays 23. But someone can add 1 or 2 more weeks. That's it.
Right.
It wouldn't be anything crazy.
What does it matter anyway, considering that the bowl games are going on from now until January?
Not to mention, you're making more money for each conference and the NCAA.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, completely broken. Needs revamped.
Yeah. Listen, we would never heard about Cam Scatterbo last year unless we saw Arizona State playing what he did in those playoffs.
Yep. Absolutely. 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have known. The only time we would have found out who this guy was when he started playing for the Giants, and they would have showed his highlights while we were watching a Giants game.
Right. Exactly.
And then we would be like, oh, shit, he was really good. Kind of like that guy.
Yeah. We watched him play. We were like, holy cow, this kid's something else.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's all broken.
It is.
Like you said, you got Miami, who's number 12. They're going to end up making the playoffs, but Virginia Cavaliers aren't, and they're playing for a conference championship.
Right.
Some of these other teams I'm just looking at, it's just kind of crazy to me too. Michigan's not going to play for one. I don't think USC is going to play for one.
No.
Mm-mm. I mean, and if that's the case too, then you should make a thing. Like if you lose 3 games in the year,
you're out.
You're automatically out.
Right.
You're automatically out. Unless
you're in your conference championship. Yeah.
Unless you're in your conference championship and it's 2 9-3 teams going head to head.
Right.
And the winner of that game goes to the playoffs.
Right.
Like that should be your bowl bid. Your playoff get in game. Or come down with a better system of getting these teams into the playoffs. Everybody wants to talk about, well, if we were playing there too, then make the top 3 teams in that conference make the playoffs. And you still play for a conference championship, but all the top 3 teams are going to the playoffs anyway. Right. So you got what do we got? Big 4 now, not the Big 5.
Yeah, Power 4 conference. Yeah, there's 4.
Power 4.
Yeah.
Well, let's just put it this way: all of the FBS is included, right?
Yeah.
So all of the FBS is included. Your Power 4, that would be 8 teams, right? So your Power 4 is 8 teams if you say the top 2. So if you
Right.
if you make your championship, you're automatically in. And then the other teams like the Sun Belt, if you win your conference championship, you're in the playoffs. The Southeast or the
Well, so here's what's going to happen.
Mountain
So
West, you know what I mean?
So how they changed it this year is why Virginia's probably going to get screwed if they do get in, if they do win, is James Madison will have a higher power ranking, and they're the one, what do they call them? Something of 5 group of 5 teams.
Right.
The highest team out of them gets in the playoff. So they'll go in over Virginia.
Yeah.
Is what's going to happen.
Like here's I just came across this, the Mid-American Conference, right? The MAC conference. You got Western Michigan at 8-4, Ohio Bobcats 8-4, Toledo 8-4, Miami of Ohio 7-5. Why is a 7-5 team playing an 8-4 team for the conference
I don't
championship?
understand. I have no idea.
I mean, did they play Ohio?
I wonder if it's. Let me see.
They
something.
played Toledo. They played Toledo and won, so they're automatically out. And they did. They played Ohio and they beat Ohio. So there's that. So that's why they're going. That's Western Michigan.
Right.
The other team,
Toledo.
Example, like I said, Ohio, they lost to the number 1. So I get
Right.
it. Toledo lost to the number 1. I get it.
Right.
Miami, Ohio didn't play the number 1 team in that conference. So
Right.
I guess that's the reason.
And they were 6-2. Yeah. Conference record. Yeah.
They're all 3 of them are 6-2 conference record. The only one that isn't is Western Michigan at 7-1.
Yeah.
But my thing is though, is that like,
here's the weird thing.
Here's this. Listen to this.
Hold on. Miami, Ohio lost to those teams, both of them.
I was just about to say Miami, Ohio lost to Ohio and Toledo back to back.
So how are you in a conference championship?
That's the stuff I don't understand. I'm too stupid to fucking get it. I understand that. I'm a dummy at heart, but that math ain't mathing to me.
No.
It's just not.
I'm baffled by that one.
Right. I know who I'm picking for that game then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's broken.
Did you see? So just looking at this in conference, Toledo outscored its opponents 251-73.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were a juggernaut, dude.
And they don't make it. I don't understand.
I have here that their points for are 379. Their points against were 146.
Yeah, that's their total. Yeah, for the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking at conference points.
Oh,
they're averaging less than 9 points a game. They're giving up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's just. I don't understand it. I just really don't.
No, I don't understand the tiebreaker there. Why? I'm actually going to look into it when we're done to see why they're not. Because that's really bugging me.
Yeah, there you go. Do journalism and get back to me.
Yeah, that's really bugging me because I'm doing the same math as you are, and they lost it. Yeah, it's not working. It doesn't make any sense. No.
So, all right. The other games that we're going to be looking at here are not until Saturday, so we'll be able to pick those games on Friday. We have next week is the Army-Navy game, which is the only game on the schedule.
Right.
I think. Let me go back and take a look.
Besides the FCS playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Right.
So FBS, the only other game that's going on is the Army Navy game. Stop. It's pissing me off. Oh, okay. Yeah, these are the quarterfinals after
Right.
for the FCS, and one will be on Friday. The rest of them will be on Saturday. But FBS, there's only one game going on, and that is the traditional Army Navy game. So we will have smaller games, amount of games to pick from. But we're going to also add in the bowl games, which
Yes.
on Saturday will be the Cricket Celebration Bowl and the bucked up LA Bowl, which teams will be determined then. And then also from here on out, it is bowl season, so there are games every day practically, and we will be picking those. Depending on what days they fall on, will depend on when we pick them. So when we do our Friday show next week, we'll be picking the Tuesday game. And then on Tuesday, we'll be picking the Wednesday Friday through Friday game because there's a Friday morning game. So we'll be picking all Friday's games. And then when we're on Friday, we'll be picking a Saturday game. You get it, right? So we'll be picking games from now until the season is over in college, which I love. I think it's fun.
So real quick.
Yeah.
I have to read this to you.
Okay.
Because I just looked up our math. Miami of Ohio was not in the MAC championship game because the conference tiebreaker determined that Western Michigan was the participant. Although Miami had a 6-2 record, it was eliminated by Western Michigan in a tiebreaker scenario involving records against common opponents, specifically Ball State, NIU, and WMU. That's why. Which still makes no sense because head-to-head you lost to those teams.
So, depending on how you perform against the same opponents, depends on the tiebreaker, even if you lose.
Yeah, which makes no sense because head-to-head you beat that team.
Right.
You beat both of them.
Right. I mean, I could understand you playing the same team in the conference game that you lost to in the regular season.
Right.
If it goes about that way. It's kind of like the Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens playing each other in the playoffs.
Right.
Even though they, one wins the division and the other one doesn't. It's the same kind of a scenario that type there. But when you lose to those teams and then you get a bid above them because you both played Dallas and you beat Dallas and they didn't, why do we play each other then?
I have no clue, man. That's the weirdest tiebreaker system ever. That's almost like the whip you're going with those points, the point system, they call it. How teams get in and teams don't. It's common opponents, head-to-head. It's very simple. 3 teams each play each other. Whoever has the best record, and then it goes to points, just like in fantasy football. I'm sorry.
I don't get it, man. It just doesn't.
We could talk about this for hours. It makes no sense.
You're right. So. We could. So, with that being said, thanks everybody for joining us tonight on this small show that we like to pour our dumb opinions and ideas into. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment, turn on those notifications so you know when we go live at all times. And we will be talking to each other again with Matt joining us on Friday around 8 p.m. same time, 8 p.m. And we'll go over the rest of this slate and possibly get back into this conversation that we have no idea how to talk about. So,
right.
With that being said, Mike, do you have anything else for the people before we tell them good night?
No, I don't. That's it.
All right. We'll leave it on a good note. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
That's right. Listen, we're sports dummies. The MAC conference, they might need bigger sports dummies. That's all I'm saying.
I think
So-
NCAA football is bigger sports dummy.
Yeah.
Nobody can understand it. Nobody can explain it. And
No.
we'll leave it at that. How about that, huh?
Sounds good to
right.
me.
With that being said, good night, everybody.
See you later.